Oh, I didn't turn my light on. I knew I was forgetting something. Turn my light on. I knew I was forgetting something. Turn my light on. Hello, hello. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Hello, hello. Hello. Anybody gonna talk to me tonight? Hello. Hello, hello. Anybody want to talk tonight? If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Just waiting for somebody to hop on and talk to me. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. If you're not familiar, my name is Renee. I'm from South Dakota. Welcome. Hello. Nobody? Wow. A slow night. Nobody? Wow. A slow night. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Hello? Nobody wants to talk tonight. Wow. All right. Well, might be a really short live. Nobody wants to talk to me. Wanda, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Where are you from, Wanda? Pennsylvania? Welcome. I'm Renee. I'm from South Dakota. Welcome. I'm not as prepared as I normally am because I generally don't get on Thursday nights. Yes, okay. But I had a horrible sinus headache last night, so I didn't get on. So I wanted to hop on for just even a few minutes tonight. So I don't have a topic like I normally do. So normally nights like tonight, we just chat. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Hello. If you're not familiar, my name is Renee. I'm from South Dakota. Welcome. Hello, hello. I'll wait just a few more minutes for everybody to get on. Then I kind of have a am why I'm here. I'll just wait a few more minutes, see if anybody's going to get on. And if not, then I'll just go ahead and we'll just see who jumps on after that. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. I don't think that's the... Sorry, guys. It's dark in my room tonight, and I have all my lights on. Hello. Annette from North Carolina, welcome. Thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. I'm Renee. I'm from South Dakota. Welcome. Okay, guys. Well, it looks like we're just going to kind of be there. So I'm just going to get started. So if you're new here and you're not familiar, my name is Renee. I'm from South Dakota. Welcome. I started my TikTok journey a year ago in March. And the reason I started my TikTok journey is because on September 14th of 2023, my husband unalived himself. I have to say it that way for TikTok purposes so they don't kick me off. And that's when I discovered that I had abilities to talk to my guides, and they slowly breadcrumbed me to my purpose, which was to be here with all you lovely people. And so basically now my purpose in life is to help other people through their loss and their trauma, and to uplift people wherever I can. So here I am. Welcome. Normally when I go live, I have a topic. Thursday night's not normally my live night, but like I said, I had a sinus headache last night, and so I wanted to get on for even a few minutes tonight, even though I don't really have a topic tonight. Cynthia, hold on, let me back up here. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Thank you for the badge. Where are you from, Cynthia? If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. So like I said, normally I have a topic. Tonight I don't. I didn't get one. And so when I don't have one, I just normally hop on and we just kind of chat about things. I only have 2 rules on my page. I just always ask that you be kind. And the second one is Illinois, welcome. And thank you for the badge. And the second one is we just don't talk any politics here whatsoever. There's a million other pages out there for that. And my page, that's just not what my page is about. And I always like to say, I am on my journey of life where I am and you are where you are. And none of us are going to ever agree on everything. And so we agree to disagree here. And if you can't do that, then I just ask that you hop off and keep scrolling. That's pretty much it. My page is your page. You're never interrupting me. We just kind of have an interactive chat generally about the topic. Like I said, tonight we don't have one. About your son. Okay. Can you elaborate? What about your son? Did I miss something? Julie, welcome back. Thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. Just a guy. Thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Did I miss, Cynthia, did I miss something about your son? I'm sorry. He passed. Okay, well then you're in the right place. How long ago did he pass? Hey, Veronica, thank you for the badge. How old was he? I like to ask questions, so if you talk to me, I'm going to ask questions. You never have to respond. Hi, Sarah from Chicago, welcome. Michelle from Virginia, welcome. So we're talking to Cynthia real quick here. She said her son passed. How long ago did he pass? How old was he? On 9/11 of 21. Okay, how are you dealing with it? Or are you not dealing with his loss? He was 20. So my guess is you're not dealing very well, maybe. That's what, 4 years? Not quite. Because that's what those are the kind of things we talk about here. We talk about how to heal and trauma and all that good stuff. So if you're just hopping on, comes in waves. I understand that very well. Very, very well. I get it. All I can say is that, so if you're not familiar with my story, so when my husband decided to check out, we'd been together for 32 years. And my husband didn't leave me in a great spot financially. And so I knew therapy was out. And I always say I'm the circle that don't fit in the square. I'm the unique girl. And so I knew group therapy wasn't going to work for me either. And when I decided that I was going to stay on this planet, for TikTok purposes, I got to watch what I say and how I say it. I wasn't sure for a while that I was going to. Charles, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. And so everybody just kept telling me Charles, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. And so everybody just kept telling me I can honestly tell you that journaling was so beneficial for me. Thank you for the badge. I appreciate that so much. Is it Misha? Thank you for the follow. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. And getting out into nature, if you can ground, that's amazing. Okay, I don't want to mess up your name. Is it Mesh? Thank you for the follow. Oh, you're so very welcome. And from Buffalo, New York. Did I say your name right? Mish? Mesh? Mish? Sorry, I hate it when I slaughter people's names. But yeah, I mean, anytime you can get outside and journal especially, or do meditation. And meditation doesn't have to be, just sitting, Meditation could be standing at your dishes, you know, quieting your mind and just, you know, letting yourself drift. And also know, if you're not familiar, I am a medium also. And so know that he is in a good place. And if you're thinking of him, he is with you. And I know I missed a bunch of chat. I'm going back. Me too. Had a very good teacher. Near and dear to me. Died a few years back. She was everything. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Veronica. Michelle, really? Okay, good. That's so much easier. Okay. Thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. Going to easier. Okay. Thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. Going to in-person school. Okay. Thank you for the badge. It keeps telling me I have an unstable connection and I really don't know why. Let's see. Cynthia, are you still here by chance? Thank you for the likes, Julie. I don't have a topic tonight, Julie. I had a sinus headache last night, something terrible, and I normally don't get on Thursday nights, but I thought, since I didn't get on last night, I wanted to get on for just a few minutes tonight at least. How was everybody's day? Anybody got anything they need to talk about, get off their chest? Anybody? I'm kind of thinking we lost Cynthia in my year. I'm glitching. I know. It keeps doing that, and I don't know why. You know, you pay $100 a month for internet. You would think it wouldn't glitch, but what are you going to do? So frustrating. That's my grandson. He's not happy when Grandma has her door shut. It's not that he wants Grandma. He just likes all the stuff in Grandma's room that he's not supposed to have. My room is not childproof. So he comes to the door and he cries because he wants in Grandma's room. I mean, I'm sure he loves Grandma, but he likes all Grandma's stuff. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. If you're not familiar, my name is Renee. I'm from South Dakota. Welcome. Am I still glitching? Veronica, how are you coming on your affirmations? Are you working on them? Diane, thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. You have 3 grandbabies? Well, congratulations. I have 6 here, but I have 9 total. Oh, thank you for the badge, Julie. Appreciate that. They're great, aren't they? He's the one, he lives with me, so he sees Grandma often. Although he goes to daycare now. My daughter used to work at night. And so he sees Grandma a little bit more than he did before. Because he's home at night now. He's in daycare while I work. Isaac, 56. 56 what? And where are you from, Isaac? I have a bunch. Yeah, well, I started early. And then my husband's daughter has 3. So I have 6 from mine. And then, yeah. Thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. Hi, how old are you? I'm actually only 50. Do I look 56? Oh my gosh. Seriously? Should I be insulted? I'm 50. I'll be 51 at the end of the year. I'm a Scorpio. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Yes, I am. It's just a lot has hit me this week school-wise. Okay. All right. It's okay. Why is by my ears, beyond my ears? I can't read either, Julie. I can't talk. I can't read. What's new? Let's see. Patricia, thank you for the badge. Where are you from? You look 45. Said you had grandkids, so I said 56. Okay. Well, I had my daughter when I was 17, and she had her first baby when she was 17. So, yeah. So that speeded up. So I actually have 6. Yeah. Wow, 51. You look great. Oh, thank you, Veronica. I appreciate that. South Carolina, welcome. Glad to have you. 50 and fabulous. That's right. 50 and fabulous. Sorry, guys. I'm shaking my phone. I'm trying to scroll back to see what I missed. Oh, this is why I can't not get on. You guys just like make my entire night. I tell you what. I get on here and it's like, it's the highlight of my day. I tell you, I work 2 jobs and so I come home and I'm like completely exhausted. And so it's like, I'm like, I can't not get on. You guys make me laugh. You make me feel good. I love you guys so much. I hope you know that. I'm 59, 51 because you said 51 on. I mean 50, not all those other numbers, and definitely not 51. Well, I will be 51 this year, so, and you know, the year's what? I'm pushing almost half over, so we're getting closer. That's okay. It's just a number, right? Same here. Aw. I'm so glad that you're here, Julie. And Veronica. 2 of my new regulars. 51 in July. Okay, so I'll be 51 in November. So, I didn't think you were in your 50s at the door, a lot younger then. Okay, yeah, most people think I'm like 30, late 30s, 40, something. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I have good genes. I don't know. So my daughter that lives with me, she's 27 and she's really short and she looks really young for her age. And a lot of people mistake her when she's at work. They think she's a teenager. So I said, well, apparently we have good genes from somebody. Oh, thank you, Veronica. Sorry, guys. I'm going to yawn on you. I did catch a few minutes of a nap this afternoon when I got home, but if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Anybody got anything else they need to like talk about or vent about? Anybody? If you're not familiar, my name is Renee. I'm from South Dakota. Welcome. Nobody? What do I do for work? Jen, you're back because you were here the other night, right? Well, I clean, I vacuum a store, 2 different stores, one 5 days a week in the morning. And then I vacuum another, or I actually used to vacuum the one on Saturdays, but now I do bathrooms and like a break room. And then after that, 4 days a week, I work at a seasonal tourist place out in the hills and I'm a housekeeper. So yeah. Yes. Okay. I thought you looked familiar. Can you talk about what you do with my medium stuff? Okay. Let's see here. We are here. Vent away. Well, I guess I don't know what to talk about. Let's see. Should we talk about, do you want to hear about, okay, so so I discovered, it's been about a year ago. I think it was April, March, maybe into February is when I discovered. So I found out I had abilities to talk to my guides shortly after my husband passed. And actually they were talking to me, I think, trying to prepare me before, and I just wasn't exactly sure what was happening. And then, so some really neat things have happened to me since then, actually. And so one of them so last September, the anniversary weekend of my husband's passing, my friend took me up to a hike, just a short hike, nothing too strenuous, that my husband and I always said we were going to do and we never did it. And hold on, guys, I'm going to see, my lighting in here is just terrible. Does it seem like it got darker in here? My light's awful. Anyway. And so we started this hike and there was like flowers that line the hike all the way up. And we're like, what's the deal with all the flowers, right? Let me keep scrolling. It's good? Okay. It just seems like it just got really, let me see if I can open my curtain. I had my curtain shut because when the sun comes around to that side of the building, it like really heats it up in my bedroom. So anyway, so we get to this hike and there's flowers lined all the way up the hike. And we're like, what's going on? And so as we started to get towards the top, what time is it there? It is 7:35. I'm on Mountain Time. if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. And so we get kind of close to the top and we see like this little, like, and as I approach it, there's like a rock by the edge, and we're not quite to this, what you would call the top or the summit, right? Yeah, you're on Eastern time. Or no, you're Central. Okay, I come from Central time, but I've lived every time zone except for Eastern time zone. Thank you for the likes too, Julie. Appreciate that. And so we, over by the side of the, like the cliff, we see kind of a memorial, and as I approach it, I get chills, right? Well, generally when I get chills, and I'm not talking like chills like you don't feel good, right? Like it's different, and I don't know how to explain it, but I start to get chills. So then I knew that somebody was present, but I wasn't sure what was going on yet, right? And so I go over and we read this little memorial, and it's to a girl. Sorry, my old phones are always going off. And at that time, I was still kind of new to my channeling, and so I would kind of have to meditate to get messages, where now I just kind of can hear them. I mean, if I'm in a busy place and I'm not focused, I don't pull in, like, but yeah, I don't have to like sit down and meditate so much anymore, right? And so I felt called to meditate. And so I went and found a nice little spot by a tree, and my friend just kind of looked at the view while I did my little meditation. And I get a message from this girl. Well, I'm assuming it's this girl, but yet I still don't know for sure. And, wanted me to give a message to the family. And I'm like, so if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. And so I'm like, okay, well, I really don't know who your family is, but I'm going to, put it in my head and we'll go from there. So we hiked just the rest of the way up, which wasn't too very far. And then we start back down the trail. Well, that weekend I had gotten, I think it was like 5 or 6 messages from my guides that they wanted me to put out reels. And I had saved them because I don't always like to do them in my bedroom. If I can get out and do them in nature, I like to do that, right? So I had taken my little handy dandy notebook with me, and I'm like, okay, well, we'll just, as we go down the trail, we'll do my reels. Well, as we start down the trail, and normally, like, if somebody's walking along with, like, a dog, my friend used to work for a pet groomer, and she's just obsessed with dogs. Don't get me wrong, I love dogs, but generally, she's the one, if she sees the dog, she's like, oh, can I pet your dog, and ask what kind it is, and all this good stuff, right? And I go to make a reel, and we see this lady coming with a dog, and my guide tells me, I hear my guide say, ask her about her dog. And my friend was like, floored, because she knows that I'm never the one that asks, right? And I was like, what kind of dog do you have? And we started talking, and my friend proceeds to tell her what we're doing, that I make reels and blah, 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 that I'm a medium and all this stuff, right? And so she proceeds to tell me that both her parents have crossed over. And just at that moment, I start to get chills again. And I'm like, okay. And so I'm thinking one of her parents are trying to come through to me. And once again, I'm being called to meditate. Well, before I could go sit down on the side of the trail where all these people are walking, she proceeds to say that her friend unalived himself the December before. And I'm like, oh. And of course, he did it the same way that my husband did, right? And I don't know if that's really relevant, but anyway. And so here I go over and I sit down on the side of the trail, and there's people walking on the trail, and I'm trying to meditate to get this message, right? And her friend comes through, and I get the message. And meanwhile, my friend's talking to this lady with the dog while I'm getting the message. I get up to the lady and I say, I just wanted you to know that I had complete body chills, okay? And instead of saying chills, I said cheers. Okay, well, if anybody knows me, I don't believe in coincidences, but I was gonna just just a slip of the tongue, whatever, right? And my guide was like, no, that has relevance. And I'm like, okay. And so instead, I said to her, I said, well, I was just going to tell you I had complete body chills. And instead, I said, complete body cheers. And at the moment that I said cheers, she busted out into tears. I'm frozen. Which, did you miss it all? Gosh darn it. Is it back? Is it back? I'm good. I was good. I'm sorry, guys. And so, yes, okay. And so basically I started to get complete body chills, and I said cheers. And as soon as I said cheers to her, because my guide said that's significant, don't blow that off. And so she started to cry. And I was like, oh boy, because I always make people cry, and I don't mean to, right? And so she said, so then she explained to me and my friend that, so her friend who had unalived himself in one of the area establishments here, they had a memorial to him, and it said, cheers to, and then his name, right? And so that had like major significance to her. And then of course, then I give her the message and what he also said to me. And she said she needed that. Like these were questions that I just froze there. I'm sorry. I seen it glitch. And so basically I had put her mind at ease of some things that she had been saying to him, right? Okay. So fast forward, it keeps glitching. I'm so sorry, guys. And so fast forward, it's probably what I'm talking about. I don't know. Somebody doesn't want me to put this out there. And so fast forward, this was on a Sunday. I go back to work on Monday, right? Because keep in mind, I got another message up at the top of the mountain, right? So I go back to work on Monday, and this girl, we had special needs people that worked with us. And so they have like a companion that comes that helps them, right? And I was telling the companion about these flowers and how I got the message and all this stuff. And I said, but we didn't know what was happening or what all these flowers were for. Well, she proceeded to tell me that this 17-year-old girl, local girl from town here, had also unalived herself the same way my husband did on September 11th. Now keep in mind, this was like September 15th. And so I had no idea because I didn't see the Facebook about it, and I don't watch any television. So I had no idea what had happened. And so she proceeded to get out her phone, and she pulled up the Facebook about it. And as soon as she did that, sorry guys, somebody's out here with their loud music. As soon as she pulled up her phone and showed me the picture, I got complete body chills. And then I knew right away that it was her who was speaking with me, and that it was her message for her family. Yeah, she pulled up the Facebook about the girl that had unalived herself. And so as soon as I seen that, then I knew right away, because like I said, I got full body chills. And so I was like, okay, well, at this point, I'm like, we live in a small area, but I don't know everybody, right? And I'm like, there's no way. How am I supposed to get this message to this family? I don't know this family, right? And so it's no itty bitty. You're fine. And so I kind of stewed on this dilemma. Good evening. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Thank you for the badge. Have I ever? No. Why would you ask me that question? But anyway, and so I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. So I kind of just stewed on it. My friend and I talked about it. And then the guy that I was talking to at the time, we kind of talked about it. And, we all felt like I should somehow get the message to the family. But like I said, I don't live in a tiny place. So I don't know them. Right. And so through that week, every time I would meditate in the morning before I would go to work, she would come to me in my meditation, really, really concerned. And, like, hey, I need you to get this message to my family that I'm okay. And, and that I'm really sorry and all this stuff. And so I'm like, I would love to, but I don't even know your family, right? Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, right? But she came to my meditation like probably 2-3 different times that week. And so I'm like, okay. So finally I decided, it had only been, like I said, it was like that next week. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to get on the funeral home, because, sometimes on the funeral home where you can get on, you can write a message, right? And so I get on the funeral home page, and I write a message to the family, and I just say, look, I didn't know your beautiful daughter. I believe that this was a gift from, I always say God to other people, just because if I say creator or source, people get all goofed up. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But so I said, I believe this is a gift from God, and I got a message from your daughter on a hike that my friend and I went on last weekend. And this is what she wants you to know. And then I just put my initial, although they had my email and everything, because you have to fill all that in order to leave the message, right? And so I left him the message, and she never returned to my meditation after that. So anyway, sorry for going on and on. I don't know if that's what you want, kind of thing you wanted to hear, Veronica. I have other stories too. But if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Thank you for the likes, Julie. I appreciate that. It really is, and I truly believe it is a gift from the Creator, right? I'm here to help people with it, So do tell more stories. Thank you for the badge, Jen. I appreciate that. Yes, my husband does. I do hear from him. Yes. And he tries to reassure me the best he can sometimes. But yes, the answer is yes. I can't talk ever. Hi from Massachusetts. Welcome. Yes and no. That was a beautiful story. Okay, well, is there something specific? Like, ask me a specific question. So I have another friend who is on my Facebook. I only know her through Facebook, but I've known her for, I think I glitched again, I don't know, like 6 years or something. And I think it's been, 2.5 years ago now, when my husband was in the hospital, her son passed away. And I always say he's a boy because he looked like a boy. He had a rare disease, but he was actually 21 when he passed. I may have missed your intro. Oh, I'm sorry. What was my first experience? Sorry, I just was scrolling back to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Thank you for the badge, TT. TT, where are you from? And did you already tell me that maybe? Let's see. My first experience, actually, it involved the person that I was talking to at the time. And his mother had passed, and she had came to me. That was my first experience. But yes. Okay. Sorry. Yes. Okay. Sorry. Ashley, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. And so one of the first really crazy for me was, I guess I should have been clear at the beginning. I'm sorry. Julie, thank you for the likes. So one of my friends, like I said, he had passed away when my husband was in the hospital. And I always call him a boy because he looked like a boy, but he was 21. He was actually a man. And so he loves my fan on my microwave, right? And so he'll turn on my fan on my microwave, and I can't turn it off until I get a message and I give it to his mother, and then he'll turn my fan off. And he's played with the paper towel machine at my old job where I used to work. Be clear across the room, one of those where you have to put your hand in front of it and it goes, right? I'd be 30 feet away, and he would, during my work day, he would play with my paper towel machine, hey, I'm trying to get your attention, Renee. And then I'd be like, okay, Jacob, when I get home, I'll get your message and I'll give it to your mom. And I come home and get his message and give it to his mom, and he's happy. I shared that I'm from tiny coast of New Hampshire. I'm originally from New York. Been here 25 years. Okay, well, I don't know if I saw that. Sometimes they like to hide my comments, and I have all my filters off, so I apologize. Well, thank you for sharing, and I'm glad that you're here. Um, but yeah, and so I've mostly just channeled for like my friends and people that I've worked with. Um, and then last summer, my guides told me, you have a service. They kept telling me that for like almost 2 weeks. You have a service. And I was like, I have a service. And they're like, yeah, Renee, you need to be offering your mediumship. You have a service. And like I said, I feel like it's a gift from the creator. And I'm like, yeah, but I really don't, I don't want to charge people for this. It's a gift. And they're like, Renee, it's a service. Like, and my guides outright told me, she's like, if you were a mechanic, you have a service, right? And so I only charge $40. I charge $40. I say only because I don't think that that's very much. But my guides tell me I have to charge because I have a service. But I want it to be affordable where I can actually still help people. No worries. Okay, good. I'm glad. Hi, life coach. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Hi, Dr. Renee. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Have you told me where you're hopping on? Tell me who you are, where you're from. My name is Renee. I'm from South Dakota. Welcome. So just a couple stories. My sister lost her husband 2 years ago, and she's just starting to emerge. It's been tough. It is tough. I lost my husband. It's been a little over a year and a half ago. We were together for 32 years, and it is really tough. You're sure welcome to give her my name, and if she needs any assistance at all. I had to figure it out on my own. Like I said, I couldn't afford therapy, and I'm the circle that don't fit in the square, and so I knew that group therapy wasn't going to work for me, and so I had to find a way to heal myself. And so, I mean, if I can help her, I sure would love to. You can always pass my page or my name along. Texas, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. I lost my mom 4 years ago and still struggling. Okay, so what are you doing to deal, Julie? Are you doing anything? Did you tell me you were in therapy? Somebody told me recently. I was thinking it was you, but I could be wrong. Sorry. You're so welcome. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Yes, okay. All right. Well, I don't want to butt into that. So, but if there's anything I can do to help you, just let me know. For sure. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. My name is Renee, and I'm from South Dakota. Welcome. Thank you for the badge, Dr. Renee. I appreciate that. But it hasn't healed the pain. Have you walked through the storm? You got to walk through those feelings, right? Have you actually, felt them, dealt with them, right? I'm still working on, I've dealt with the guilt, right? And I'm still working on the anger part. Feel to heal. Exactly. You got to feel it. Yep. That's what I tell everybody. You got to walk through the storm. And unfortunately, that's why people don't want to heal, or, because they don't want to have to feel through that, right? And you have to feel through that in order to heal it. She's exactly correct. Yep. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate that so much. A lot of past trauma. Okay. Are you working on the past trauma? If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Because it sounds like you got to deal with some of that past trauma first. Oh, thank you for the heart, Dr. Renee. I appreciate that. It's going so fast now. Slowly. Okay. And at your own pace, right? Oh, thank you guys so much for all the love. I appreciate that so much. And like I said, I'm here, right? If you need something, if you need to, whatever it is, I'm here to help you work through that. That's why I'm here. That's my purpose. Oh.
Hey.
Hi.
First, did I push that or did you push that?
I don't know.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. I'm technologically challenged, so I
Oh,
might have.
I'm sorry. I'll leave. I was tapping, and then all of a sudden my son came in. I guess I looked and was still tapping, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, okay. I guess this is happening.
No, you're good. I'm glad that you did. Welcome to my live. I've never had anybody on my live, so
Oh, well then it was meant to be then.
it really is because my goal in life is to be a life coach. That's where I'm
Oh,
headed.
really?
So,
Seriously, if you
yes.
ever want to know, I will tell you everything you need to know because I had to
Okay.
learn it on my own.
Okay. Well, that's how I roll. Everything
Yeah.
seems I have to learn it on my own.
Well, I retired military in 2019, but I was already doing the life coaching thing. I just didn't have any certifications. And then I was teaching at the Air Force Academy, and that's where I got my certifications. But you don't need any certifications to be a life coach. It's not a regulated industry.
Oh, well, that's good to know because the things that come out of my mouth, I don't even know where they come from. And finally, one day I asked my guides, I said, I don't know if you're familiar. I talked to my spirit guides. Or they talk to me, I should say.
Yeah.
And so they're always like, I said, where do these things come from? Like, how do I know? I mean, some of this I've learned, obviously, my 50 years and then going through with losing my husband and stuff. But other things just come and I'm like, I don't even know where this stuff comes from. And my guide says, Renee, you've had lots of lifetimes of experience and this is your purpose. So,
And I love that because with your abilities, you're going to blow it out of the water because you'll be able to connect with them on a different level and just like really connect with them like on a spiritual soul level versus just this, generalized stuff that a lot of other coaches put out. It's crap.
yeah. Well,
It's crap.
yeah. Well, I'm so glad I got chills. So I'm just going to tell you that just means that this was divine intervention. I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah, I was like, wow. I literally, like I said, I was just tapping. And my son came in here and we were like, he wanted to eat popcorn in my office. And I was like, no. And I looked down, it said 10, 5, or 5, 4. I'm like, do I do this? Okay.
Oh, that's
Okay.
awesome. Are you following me so I can follow you back?
I'm following you. You're Renee. I have to follow you. Of course, I'm following you.
That's right. That's right.
but
Okay, because I'm going to pick your brain a lot.
Yeah, do that. Feel free. I will give you anything and everything that I know. All right. I won't keep. I got to figure out how to get out of here.
I know. Don't ask me because I'm clueless. I know I hit things all the time and I'm like, I don't know how to get out.
Right. All right. I got it. All right.
Thank you for
All
coming
right,
on.
bye.
I appreciate it.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you for kicking me out.
Okay, you guys all caught that, right? That was like totally random and I got total body chills. So that was my guides going, you need her. See how that works? If you don't believe in your divine team, you need to. And now I don't know how to get out of the little tiny square, but that's okay. So, okay, guys. So thanks for staying on for that. That was awesome. That was so awesome. Even though I can't talk ever. Sorry about that, Dr. Renee. I can't talk. Oh, you're awesome. I love you already. Oh, that's great. Oh, shoot. Yeah, that was totally like total divine intervention. See how that works? Always have faith in your spirit team because they're always there behind the scenes working their magic. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And to think I wasn't even going to get on tonight. Thursday night's not my normal night. So I'm normally on Sunday through Wednesday. So if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. If you're not familiar, I am normally here Sunday through Wednesday between 7 and 8 o'clock Mountain Time, usually closer to 7 o'clock, generally about 7:15. Thursday nights, I'm trying to reserve to go on. If you're not familiar, I have a YouTube channel, which is under Scorpio Medium. If you're not a subscriber over there, I would love it if you'd go over there and subscribe. Be careful where you tap, people. Yeah, you just might end up online with me. That's right. And so if you're not a subscriber, I would love it if you went over to Scorpio Medium and subscribed. And you'll find all my videos that I have here uploaded over there. The only difference is if you miss a live and you'd like to catch that, I upload those over there. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. If you go to my bio here or my bio over there is where you'll find my email. So if you're interested in me, you already did. Okay. It doesn't always tell me all my subscribers, Julie. That's what sucks. But what I was going to say is if you would like me to channel somebody on the other side of the veil for you, if you go to my email, you can find that in my bio, and email me. We can set that up anytime. So that's my little plug that I have to do every night. I appreciate you guys so very much. There's my cat. He's a little late tonight. Normally he's doing his cat call at the very beginning. So does anybody else have anything else they would like to talk about? Anybody? Going once? Does it give a cost? It's $40. I don't know if because they don't give me a very big spot to write stuff in places, but it's $40 if you would like me to channel. And all I ask for, I don't ask for any personal information other than a name. If I'm channeling with you in the room, I can pick them up pretty easily. It's a little harder. So I usually, if it's a distance thing, what I usually ask you for is I just want their name. And if you can send me a picture generally. And then generally what happens, excuse me, is that I will get a message from them. They pretty much always come through. Sorry, hold on guys. I have a cat that won't leave the other cat alone. So like I said, just a picture and a name, and then I usually get a message from them, and then we can either do like a FaceTime. I don't have an iPhone, so like a messenger, or we can do a Zoom or anything like that. Just some kind of video call generally is what I like to do so I can see your face. But the reason I don't ask for any personal information is because I ask for that from the other side, right? I'm like, give me something that only you and them would know. And then that's your validation that it is your loved one coming through generally. So, and on my Facebook page, which is Darrell, DARRELL, no space, Renee, RENEE, Borgelt, BORGELT. And you can message me for that if you'd like. But if you follow that or friend request me over there, I do have a Scorpio Medium group that you can hop in and you'll see my specials. And I usually announce them on here too when I'm running a special for those. And I do that every once in a while. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got, guys. Does anybody else have anything else or any other questions? Sorry, I kind of got off on a tangent there, Veronica. And then generally, like I said, and then I do like a PayPal or Venmo, and then you just Venmo me or PayPal me the $40. It's a pretty simple process. It's okay? Okay. Sorry about that. Thank you for all the likes, Julie. I appreciate that so much. Okay, guys. Well, if nobody else has anything else they want to talk about tonight, anybody? Anybody? Any other questions? Anybody got anything going on? That was great. Because I don't think I pushed something, but like I said, divine intervention. You know, the divine is always working on your behalf. So if you don't think so, and remember, you know, you can always ask them for help, right? And, you know, a lot of times people think, well, they can help. Sometimes they can't, right? The line is blurred there because the Creator give us free will. So you have to ask them. I'm glad. Good to see you. Good to see you too. Good to talk to you, Veronica. What does it mean when I fly in my dreams about 4 times a week and I'm really good at it? I'm not a dream interpreter, but I can't talk. What just came to me when you said that, and you're going to probably think I'm crazy, but you could have been a fairy in another life. Just saying. I don't know. I'm not a dream interpreter, but... Oh, no, you're not psycho. I'm sure that's probably pretty common, actually, I think. Thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. but it could have something to do with another lifetime, would be my guess. That's what my intuition's telling me, and my intuition's usually never wrong. Most people don't realize, they don't believe in fairies and dragons and all that stuff, but they're going to find out. And a lot of people don't believe in reincarnation and other lives either, but most people don't know that it was in the Bible till the 1900s. Sorry, Renee's been down a million rabbit holes, so every now and then I have to throw in a tidbit. So, okay, guys, does anybody else have anything else they would like to talk about? Anybody? Going once? Going twice? Okay, guys. Thank you. You too. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for all the gifts and everything. Thank you for the conversation, Dr. Renee, and I would love to pick your brain for sure. How is my week going? Better than last week, if I was completely honest. Last week I was struggling a little bit with some of my, like I was saying when I got on last Thursday, I don't know who was here or who's seen the video. We're a very tourist state, and so my husband and I had dreams of going full-time RVing. And with all the RVs pulling it last week, you know, really starting to come, it's been a little bit of a struggle. But like I always say, you know, just have a moment, don't unpack and live there. And so that's what I'm trying to do. I just have a moment, you know. I can honestly say though, today I was very proud of myself. So I'll have my earbuds in when I'm doing my second job. Honest is the only way. Exactly. Thank you for the badge, Veronica, too. And so I'll put on a song on YouTube, and then it'll just kind of like shuffle through other songs, right? And I have to say, this song came up today that played when my husband and I were dating, right? Last week when it played and I was working, I bawled my eyes out. Today I made it all the way through the song without crying. So I think that's progress, right? When you can have the memory of them and it not upset you so much. So I think I am healing, right? It's a process for everybody. So on that note, thank you guys so much for the love and everything. I appreciate you all so very much. I will be back here Sunday night, a little after 7 probably, maybe a little before if you're lucky. If anybody needs anything or, you know, whatever, just message me before that. But otherwise, I'll be back here Sunday night. I love you all so very much. You totally make my evening. And remember to make tomorrow great, because it's a choice. And we're going to say until we meet again.